have a day off, so I am recording a video for a change in the daytime instead of the dead of night when I should be sleeping. Hey legends, sorry about my backdrop at the minute. Can you see this right here? That is the light of a window coming through because for once I have a day off, so I am recording a video for a change in the daytime instead of the dead of night when I should be sleeping. So, another fine mess. We are into the final short film and the first DVD in the Laurel and Hardy box set, and this is a flippin' fantastic little film. Pretty much, I'm just going to read the synopsis from IMDb for it. It pretty much says, fleeing from a policeman, two vagrants stuck into a deserted mansion. When a ritzy couple shows up as prospective tenants, Ollie poses as the owner while Stan demonstrates his versatility, doing double duty as butler and maid. Now, the films in this box set are set out like one DVD has got a feature on it, and then it has got related shorts behind that feature. So if you've been following this series from the start, the film in this first DVD was a chump at Oxford. And the first 20 minutes of that film were originally a separate short called From Soup to Nuts, in which it's the maid and butler kind of routine. So that doesn't change in this film. You've got the maid and butler routine here, but it doesn't. And this one, as I've said, Stan ends up playing both maid and butler, which makes for some real brilliant comedy moments where he has to come in different situations as either the maid or the butler, and just sets it up for some real good slapstick comedy. There's one part in the film where Stan and Ollie are up the stairs in this house, and Stan has just came out and revealed himself in the maid's outfit, and Ollie tries to send him down the stairs to meet this guy's wife. So of course the underwear slips down to Stan's feet just before he goes to walk down the stairs, and he trips and doesn't just fall, he does like a head, like just dives down the stairs. And you know, people would argue that this is a stunt double. Quite possibly, in that first part it could have been, but there's no doubt on the landing at the bottom of the stairs it was Stan Laurel that did it. So there was no crazy health and safety regulations that you have today where, you know, stars of the film will not do stunts for the fear of getting hurt and, you know, suing the filmmakers. Back then, like Stan and Ollie, without a doubt. I'm not saying that there was never stunt doubles used for these guys, but 9 times out of 10 something happened in these films. It was a pair of these guys that were in the thick of it all, and that was brilliant. That was just one of the first laugh out loud moments in this film. And yeah, pretty much at the start of the film they're getting chased down by this policeman. They duck into the house. The guy that owns it is heading off for a 6-month hunting trip, and it's obvious that he's a total pain in the backside to work for, because the real maid and butler have been left behind to rent this house out to another couple. Now, Stan and Ollie have ducked into the house to hide from this policeman at the start. This is just after the guy who owns the house has left, so they're hiding in the house. They hear the real maid and butler come up with the idea of, well, he's going to be gone for 6 months, we might as well go away for the weekend ourselves on a little holiday and rent the house out once they come back. So they disappear off. Stan and Ollie are in the house. They're just about to slip out again, thinking they've gotten away from this policeman. When they open the door to leave, the policeman is in the grounds of this mansion, still trying to find them. So they close the door, hide in the house a little longer. Then there's a knock at the door. It's the couple that want to rent the house, and Ollie comes up with the idea for Stan to dress up as the butler. You know, go to the door, get rid of them. Once they're gone, we'll slip out the back. So that's okay. Once he tries to get rid of them, opens the door for them to leave again, the policeman is still there, so he panics, closes the door, has these couple still on here, these couple, has this couple still in here, and it ends up Ollie has to pose as the guy that owns the house. So he's trying to go through the motions of, stalling this guy long enough to get rid of this policeman. Slapstick comedy throughout, and just get deeper and deeper into the lie of, him being the owner of this house, and Stan having to run back and forward, getting changed from the butler's costume into the maid's costume, and trying to pose as both. And hilarity ensues. Especially when Ollie ends up actually renting the house. Supposedly renting the house to this guy. Once that's done, the guy that owns the house has forgotten something. He's come back to pick up his bow and arrow. And of course, when he knocks the door, the guy that has supposedly rented the house, answers the door and is like, "No, sorry." Stan answers the door, brings him in, and introduces him, Ollie, as the owner of the house, not knowing that this guy actually owns the house. Fantastic moment when Ollie finally, the penny drops, and he realises that he is actually talking to this person, pretending to be him. And, once that happens, all hell breaks loose. The guy goes for the gun, and the guy that owns the house is like, "Who the heck are you?" sort of thing, and the guy's like, shoots him in the backside. He runs off screaming, and Ollie and Stan go and hide in the house. The guy goes and brings the police in and whatnot. Stan and Ollie come out in this like pantomime horse sort of a costume, end up getting chased out of the house. There's a stunt as they're leaving, and it's one of these things where you see it and it's a laugh out loud moment, but you think to yourself, was that actually meant to happen, or was that a complete accident and they left it in the film? Because in this pantomime horse, they run down this flight of steps at the front of the house. The guy in the back, which I take to be Stan, slips at the top of these steps, falls and takes the feet out from Ollie in the front of this costume, and the two of them bump, 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 bump right to the ground. Such a funny moment, and oh gosh. And then of course the guy's got his bow and arrow, and he fires an arrow off and he shoots a policeman on the backside. So well done that you actually think that they actually did shoot this guy with a bow and arrow. So yeah, wackiness ensues as Laurel and Hardy and this pantomime horse costume getting chased out of this house, end up in like a bicycle made for two. Was it tandem bike? I believe they're called. I could be wrong on that there, but they end up riding this thing down the street with four policemen chasing them, firing off their guns. Hilarity. Now I've just pretty much spoiled the crap out of this film for you, but as such a good film to check out, and as always I'm going to give it a little rock and roll rating, and for the first time in this series I'm going to give it top of the range awesome, because this film is just enjoyable from beginning to end.